Hey, everybody, I want to welcome you to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm super excited. I have a repeat guest on from before, but she has a different story and she's got just an amazing thing to share with all of you guys as far as mentorship goes and really what it means to be surrounded by the best possible people to help you grow as a person and grow in your business. But before we get to that, I'm going to go ahead and cue my intro. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. Hey, Erius, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. Thank you.
I think me talking to you today, since you're in the sunshine state, you sent some nice weather here to Cleveland. It is 71 degrees here today, so I am very happy about that. So
I love it.
not freezing.
I love it. It's kind of funny because here it's normally anywhere between. So this time of the year, we're just getting to that time where it starts to get kind of warm. I mean, we get to 90 usually, but the humidity is not quite there yet. But yeah, we've had some days where one thing I've learned about living down here is you actually have to walk out with a paper towel almost every morning in between the months of June and October. You got to have like a roll of paper towels with you, or you will not be able to see out of your windows. Like
Oh
literally, it's just
wow.
waterlogged around the windows of the
Oh,
car. So
wow.
I'm usually every morning, cleaning it up because it's like if I open my window, which I, used you could do that with snow because usually you'd open your window, the snow would kind of come off. Now I open my window and it all comes in. I'm like, like all this like hot, nasty water. I'm
Mhm.
like,
Oof,
nah.
humidity.
It is. It's very different, but I love it. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I love not having a cloud in the sky. That's usually
Yeah.
most days, but yeah, it is hot. It does take some getting used to. That is for sure. But
Well, good, 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 good.
well, I'm glad I was able to get you on. You are my second ever repeat guest, so congrats on that. Repeat guests are the guests that everyone loves to hear, loves to see, loves to talk about their story, and of course, are people that I know add a ton of value. So I'm super stoked to have you on. And one of the things that I wanted to discuss with you, you made a career change this year.
Yes.
Just tell everybody a little bit about that.
So yes, so I was formerly with the Chosen Home Warranty as an account executive, and I transitioned. I'm now with Fairway Independent Mortgage as a career development strategist. Um, it was I know that it seems like a totally different ball game, but it's still the real estate industry. And I want to talk about why I am so thankful that I'm in the real estate industry. So obviously with COVID and everything, some careers just didn't work out for people. So I'm thankful of the connections that I made because if I hadn't connected with other real estate industry partners, I would not have this job. It's because of my real estate industry connection with Courtney DeMarco that I was even referred for this position. So I'm so thankful for that. It seems like it would be much of a change because essentially I was doing like sales and career development strategist is just a fancy way of saying recruiting. But it's so funny. When I interviewed for this position, I told them, it's not much different than sales because now I'm more so selling myself than selling the company. And I told them, if you are looking for a recruiter to just say, hey, call, just say, hey, just come and work here. We'll pay you more money. So I'm probably not the girl for you. I said, because I'm looking to build relationships and looking to build careers out of people. I want people to come to Fairway and feel like, hey, this is where I'm going to retire from. And they just kind of cracked up because I said, I don't even really consider myself as a recruiter. And I said, if I, take this position, we would have to, come up with a different name for me because I don't see myself as a recruiter. I see myself handling whatever the business need is. So I'm actually on the business development team with Courtney DeMarco and Mike Kader, who both are such great mentors to me, and I'm so thankful. I truly love the company and absolutely love what I do now.
I love it. That's awesome. So you're not actually doing the mortgages or the loans, which kind of in most people's minds would be the progression of what you would have gone to from an account manager role, so to speak. And on the recruiting side, so your goal essentially is to bring folks in that I mean, I'm assuming you have some sort of core values or share a core. By the way, do you guys have like a mission statement, core values, all that fun stuff? I'm
Yes. Oh,
assuming you
yeah.
do.
Oh, so we're big on our core values.
Love
So
it.
yes, so I am recruiting people that maybe some people that maybe new to the industry, experienced loan officers, and even recruiting on that operation side as well. But you said I'm not actually writing loans. Stay tuned because you never know. You never know with
Right.
me. So maybe a year or two from now, I might be writing loans. You never know. Stay tuned.
I love that. Well, and again, not that that is always when people think of mortgage, you think that's where you go, but there's so many other functions. There's so many other elements and aspects to the business to make it operate
Absolutely.
efficiently and effectively. And for someone like so Courtney, we'll use Courtney as an example because Courtney, of course, brought you in. What is it about Courtney that that brought you there? Because of course there's so many other lenders out there. What was it about Fairway and Courtney? What was it that got you interested in the opportunity?
Absolutely. So, if you guys have never met Courtney DeMarco, you are losing. She is truly a joy of a person to be around. And I thought if a company can tag a person that special, because she truly touches everyone that she meets, if they can snag a girl that special, I said, this is a company that I obviously need to be talking to. So, fast forward. I was absolutely blown away in my interview. I interviewed with Brian and Mark Thomas, so I was so impressed because usually you meet the managing partners of a company and they're just all stuck up and sitting back in their suits. They're no longer writing loans. I was so impressed that they are actually still writing loans. The
Wow.
co-founder and owner of this company, his name is Steve Jacobson, he is still writing loans. So I was so impressed with that. I said, they don't just talk the talk, they are actually doing the job. They understand what it's like to be in the position that some of these loan officers are in. That is a company that I want to work for. I don't want to work for someone that is just telling me what to do, but actually understands what it's like to be the day in the life of a loan officer. So that's who I want to work for. So that is honestly what drew me into working for Fairway.
I'm so glad too that you brought up something that I didn't even think about. And it's funny because so of course, with our business, we have a call center. We do marketing. We call the leads. We set appointments. But one of the biggest challenges that any company has is when the leadership team becomes disconnected from day to day.
Yeah,
And I will admit that there have been times that I was disconnected from day to day, and not necessarily. I'm not talking about every little nuance of the business because, as the owner of a company, as a leader of a company, you're not going to know exactly what's going on in every single aspect and every single element, especially as you grow. But what you do understand is the same fundamental skills that helped you grow your company are those applicable? Do they still grow the company? Do they still grow the organization? And so just recently, I would say probably I will say before COVID and all that stuff, I mean, I was disconnected in a lot of cases. Now I'm very much so connected.
Yeah.
I've never really given up. I always love the B2B sales part where and I don't look at it as sales. Like people are like, oh, you're going to be the sales rep and you close them down. And I'm like, well, not really. My role in how I look at it is to cultivate a relationship and help them solve a problem. That's all it is. I want to gain a relationship with them so that they trust me to tell me what's going on in their business, and really not surface level what's going on, what's really going on
Yeah.
in their business, because that's what it is. I mean, there's things obviously happening in their business that they need to share. So I'm going to find out what's going on in their business, what's happening, and how I can fix it. And the only way that I know how to do that is to be connected from the top down and actually doing the
Absolutely.
job. And I still call the leads after we generate YouTube leads, because we do a lot of marketing online. After we generate them, I call them personally and I'll set appointments. So that to me it makes me feel good. It makes me know that I'm on
It
the right
does feel
path.
good. It does feel good. And let me share with you, Matt, that's so important that we're talking about this right now because let's just call a spade a spade. This is a difficult time right now for
It is.
everyone, whether you're in the real estate industry, whether you're in accounting, it's just a very difficult time. So I think the people that are going to succeed in these times are the people that are like us and that are like a Mark or a Brian or Courtney or a Mike Kadir, those connections. The people that are staying connected to their clients, that those are the people that are going to succeed in a market like this. And that's why it was so important to me that I joined a company that was doing that. It's so funny. And I won't share any names because we're live on air. Obviously when you're going to join a company, you start to ask around. I actually asked around and it was so funny. I talked to a realtor and he was actually not sharing a success story. I guess he had a loan that Fairway couldn't handle for him. It was not that we dropped the ball or anything. We just couldn't help the client. But he said that he was so impressed with the way that Brian handled the situation, which that's one of the managing partners. He's my boss's boss. So he
Right.
was so impressed with the way that he handled that he was like, you know what, I love their way. They weren't able to help that client, but I bet they can help thousands of others of my clients. And even if they can't help my clients, they are not hiding or blocking or not answering my clients' calls or dodging. They're handling the situation full on. And those are the type of people that are going to succeed in this industry today with the tough times that we're dealing with.
You're so right. And I mean, I know when we set out in planning for this episode, we didn't anticipate talking about interest rates or things like that. And I'm not going to ask you to go into interest rates, but
Please
I'm
don't.
going to yeah, I won't. But here's what I will tell you. And this is a super unpopular opinion, and I know that I'm going to get pulled from the airwaves saying this. I probably won't. But what I believe, and I've been telling so many people this, to an extent, I'm happy that rates went up. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. I've been in this industry so we're not in 2008. I could tell you that. So many people are like, oh my gosh, 2008, we're going to be in a recession. Oh, this is terrible. No, here's why. In 2008, by the way, I was doing mortgages in '08, so I'm very, very familiar with all of that.
Oh, oh,
And
oh.
yeah, so and and to an extent, I was in the pay option arms and all these crazy loans. And back then, I was 18 years old. I didn't know any better. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And then
Yeah,
come to find out, oh no, they're not so
it
great.
wasn't
So
great.
right. And again, it was just the banks were saying this is what we can do. This is okay. And I'm like, well, if the banks say it's okay, they know what they're doing. So it's one of those things where I look back at it and I remember back then, these guys were in a horrible financial situation because of bad loans, because of loans that were too risky. There was just way too much red tape. I mean, stated income, stated assets. I mean, come on. Stated income, stated assets. So, oh, yeah, I have $5 million in the bank and I make $4 million a year. Oh, that's great. Okay. Yep. You get a loan. I mean, that's what it was. So, and the rates were not going up the rates were dropping because of the crisis and everything that was going on. Right now, this is just a stabilization. That's
Yeah.
all it is. We're stabilizing because sellers had way too much power. And literally, if you were going to sell your house, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to sell my house for 100 and some odd $1,000 more. Now, I believe that values will still stay stable for the most part. I don't think we're going to see a big dip or anything crazy like that, but I think values will stabilize. I think interest rates are going to probably slowly go up. And I think that we're going to actually start to see a more normalizing of the market where instead of houses being on the market for 2 days and, $50,000 offer, over asking price,
Yeah.
now we might see 20 days and the offer was at the asking price. I mean, again, that's just my opinion. That's me putting a personal happy
Put a
spin on
personal
it,
stamp on that.
but that's my thoughts. I could be wrong, but I mean, I've seen what happened in the past. This is not that time. So many people have equity now. I mean, so many people have better opportunities. And now I just think it's going to be, I think a lot more loan programs are going to come out where there's more adjustable, there's more, just different rate products. And I think it's just going to more normalize. That's my opinion. I don't know what your thoughts are, but you don't have to go too deep into that.
I plead to fifth. I am going to stay away from that because that is a
Sure.
loaded question. But I
Totally
can
fair.
tell you, Fairway has some absolutely wonderful products out there that our competition that does not have that our competition doesn't have. We
Right.
are the number one OFA lender in Northeast Ohio. So yes, so we are definitely prepared for everything that this market has to offer. So bring it on. I'm confident in Fairway. We got this. We are a purchase first lender. We have never lost the deal due to pricing. So I'll
I
say
love
that.
that. That's awesome. So are you guys only Ohio or
No,
is there,
absolutely not. So I
okay.
work I work for a Fairway Independent Mortgage of Northern Ohio, but no, we're all over.
Nice.
So,
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Well, for everyone that's watching as well, and I wanted to put this up there because if you want to get a hold of Arius, you want a better loan, a better option, more options, more opportunities, and to work with someone who is, and if you're looking for work through there, of course, she's the go to. If you're looking for a loan through there, she's also the go to because she's
yeah,
going to pass you along to the right person. But
absolutely.
and I mean, you work with some amazing people.
Absolutely.
I was lucky to interview. I was actually lucky to interview one of those amazing people, Courtney. So,
Oh yeah,
uh, and
our
she's
girl, our girl.
yeah, and she's awesome. I mean, and
She is.
she truly cares. I think that makes a
She
huge
does.
difference when you work for somewhere. So, Arius, I guess let me ask you this. We talked a little bit about Quicken Loans, and we won't go too deep into Quicken Loans. Um, I will say this: I worked for Quicken Loans. That was that was my last mortgage job. It was the last one I ever did. Lessons learned, at least in that place, they led though with cash. That's how they led. They led with cash. Oh, you're going to make all kinds of money. You're going to make all kinds of money. And is money important? Absolutely. But money is not everything. Money is that vehicle, that tool that gets you from point A to point B. But at the end of the day, it's also an experience. And yes, they had some great experiences. I went to Cavs games and everything else, but I was working myself to the bone. I mean, it was
Yeah.
around the clock. I mean, I've been now self-employed for going on a little over 7 years, and I worked longer days there than I did as a self-employed business owner, which is
Wow,
crazy.
that is
So,
crazy.
right. So, my point, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, why would someone, and again, with you being in that role that you're in now, what is it that you believe would be a good differentiator for a place like yourself? Like, why would somebody want to work for Fairway over a Quicken or over a Bank of America or something like that? I mean, why would what makes Fairway the place to be, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the culture. The culture, we're just like I feel like in nothing against the those bigger companies and everything, but when you get into like those bigger companies, you're just a number.
It's true.
But we are truly a one big happy family here. And like I said, Sorry about that. Like I said, like I
You're
was
good.
telling you before, like I said in my interview,
Hmm.
I told them if they were looking to just get a recruiter to tell people, hey, come work here because you can make a lot of money. I'm not
Right.
the girl, but that's why I wanted my position to be career development strategist, keyword development. I'm looking
Right.
to help people that want to develop. Like maybe I'm recruiting someone that was closing two loans a month
Hmm.
at Bank of America or 123 Mortgage. But when they come to Fairway, our goal and my goal, which matches alongside the goals of Fairway, is to have them go from doing two loans a month to progressionally closing 10 deals a month, then 20, then 50, then 100, then
Right.
200, and the rest is priceless. So I really want people to grow and develop. So I think in that I mean, not saying that other companies do not want that, but I've truly seen it from Fairway. I've seen success stories. I've seen the loan officers that have came in and they truly grew with this company, and that is what makes the difference here at Fairway.
I love that. And as far as your loan officers go, so I mean, if someone's new to the industry, are you guys open to new people? I mean, or you looking more for veterans? What do you guys look for as far as
Absolutely. Our internal services that we offer for employees, like the training is outrageous. Like so for example, we have something here called Fairway Ignite, and that is like full blown training for experienced loan officers or maybe brand new loan officers. It's just like a continued education, and I absolutely love that. I think that we have some great experienced loan officers to learn from. Everybody's so willing to help, so I truly love that.
it sounds too like you guys have a really good in terms of mentorship. I feel like that is something because so many people I think miss that. They miss the boat on that. And even with Quicken, I mean, I'll just give my own personal example. I was very fortunate. I had a very good group of mentors, but one of the biggest challenges is in those bigger organizations, you do feel more like just like a number. Where we had in my training class, I believe we had 24 people. And by the time training was done, we went down from 24 down to like 12. And then by the time and training was 3 months. And then by the time we were done with training, we actually got on the floor. I think in 3 more months there was like six people, and then I think when I left, I was like one of five.
Wow.
So, and I was only there for like a year, not even. I
Oh,
think it was
wow.
like 11 months. I wasn't even there for a full year, and um, it just was. And again, I mean, there are some good things about that company. Certainly not
Absolutely.
looking. Yeah, there's good things. There's good and bad with every company,
Every company, yes.
but I think from what I'm hearing from you, it sounds like that small, and not to say that Fairway's small, but to
No,
have
because
a,
we're big. There's nothing small
yeah,
about us, okay?
but,
But
but you're
we're big.
operating, yeah, you're operating as if it is a more intimate environment
Absolutely.
because of the skill set you have, because of the mentorship, because of the
Absolutely.
people. I think that makes a huge difference.
Yes,
I really do.
it does. It does. And our speed to respond, I think that creates that intimacy between client and us. So I truly do love it. Like I said, it's just one big happy family. I couldn't ask for a better company to work for.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. Well, for everyone that's watching, again, I want to make sure that I share if you're looking for a change in your career, you're looking for a new opportunity, maybe you're just looking for some advice, maybe you want to buy a home and you looking for a mortgage. Reach out to Arius. She's very accessible. She's an amazing communicator. I know that from experience because we've coordinated plenty of things and you're always on it. So Arius, thank you. Thank you so much for jumping
Thank you
on.
so
This
much
was,
for having me again.
of course, of course. And before we close out, anything else that you wanted to share that I did not brush over?
I just want to thank you so much for having me. And again, it's truly been an honor. I am his second repeat guest, so I'm kind of a
That's
big
right.
deal. Just saying, just saying.
That's right.
And yes, and as he said, if you are looking for to make a career change, or maybe you're with the current mortgage company and you're looking to grow your career, I am here for you. Or maybe you need assistance with a mortgage. I am willing to put you in front of a loan officer. So reach out to me with any questions.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Arius, thank you again. For everyone watching. See you same time, same channel next week. And let's go. Let's grow. See ya.
Let's go.